Hi there, cheese lovers. It's Girth Pretty. I'm back, master of the cheese at Lakeview Cheese. And today we're going to talk about the four essential ingredients in making cheese. So, what is cheese? Basically, it's milk. Milk, lots of it, that has been turned into a solid to keep it longer. Because fresh milk doesn't keep very long. Meanwhile, if you're able to remove a lot of the water or moisture out of the cheese and let it dry up, it can keep on for months, if not years. And that was a way for survival, especially during, say, the medieval times, when there'd be a lot of milk produced by cows, goat, sheep in the spring and summertime. And the shepherds and goat herders would use that extra milk, make cheese, so that in the late winter, when there's not as much food around, they would survive by eating cheese. So, we talked about milk, okay? We could be using cow's milk, goat's milk, sheep's milk, water buffalo milk, yak's milk, camel milk. Uh, Basically, any mammal that produces milk, you could theoretically make cheese out of it. Now, how much milk does it take to make cheese? Okay, ready? We're going to count together. So, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 liters of cow or goat's milk to make 1 kilo of cheese. Wow, that's a lot of milk. But it only takes 6 liters of milk from sheep to make a 1 kilo of cheese. And the reason why is that there's a lot more protein in sheep's milk than there is in cow's milk or goat's milk. But the thing to keep in mind, though, is that sheep only produce 1 liter of milk a day. Same thing as goats. So it literally takes 6 sheep or 11 goats to produce enough milk to make 1 kilo of cheese. Cows, they can produce between 20 to 40 liters of milk a day. So one cow can produce between 2 to 4 liters, 2 to 4 kilos of cheese. Big difference. Now there's different treatments to milk. You could have raw milk, you could have heat treated or thermalized milk, and also pasteurized milk. Heat treated basically means is that the temperature of the milk when processed into making cheese has not been heated higher than the body temperature of the animal. Heat treated, basically that raw milk has been heated for 55 to 65 degrees centigrade for about 16 seconds. Now, for consumers, it's identified as being called unpasteurized milk. While pasteurized milk, it's high temperatures for a short period of time, involves heating up raw milk to 72 degrees for 16 seconds. Now, what does pasteurization do? It kills all the bacteria that was in the milk. Now, where does that bacteria come from? Well, basically, the bacteria comes from the plants that the animals are feeding on out in the pastures. There's all sorts of bacteria there. There's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. And the bad bacteria is what we don't so much want. So by pasteurizing the milk, it kills all the bacteria. In heat-treated milk or thermalized milk, some of the bacteria is killed, but not all of it. While in raw milk, all the bacteria are there. So theoretically, it could eventually end up in the cheese. Now, the federal law in Canada states that if you are to make cheese with raw or heat-treated thermalized milk, you must let the cheese age for 60 days. Because then if, and that's the big word, if there were any harmful bacteria in the milk, they would be considered dead and the cheese is deemed safe to eat. So we were talking about bacterial cultures. We talked about milk. Now, some bacterial cultures are actually now made in laboratories. So when a cheesemaker is using pasteurized milk, they reintroduce bacteria into the milk, which gives the cheese its special flavors. The other ingredient, salt. A little bit of salt is used as a preservative and a flavor enhancer. And last but not least, okay, we got all this liquid milk, we got the bacterial culture, we got the salt, still liquid. Well, you need a reactive agent, a coagulation agent, that's going to bind the milk protein together, and you have all this excess liquid, which is called the whey. So there's natural coagulation agents like the rennet, which is an enzyme found inside of the stomach lining of baby animals like calves, lambs, and baby goats, kids. Labs now can make a microbial enzyme, which is a plant-based rennet. And finally, there are natural plant-based coagulation agents, sorry, called similar to cardoon, which is the Spanish thistle. So those are the 4 basic ingredients in making cheese: milk, salt, bacterial culture, and a coagulation agent. Tune in next week for more about cheese. And maybe we'll even taste some. Cheers.